Mariners win 5-3. They improve to 9-9 on the season, and they have split the first two games of the three-game set with the Cincinnati Reds. Go over the scoring plays. First inning, Randy Rosarina doubles to center. Julio Rodriguez scores. It's 1-0. Second inning, Ben Williamson singles to center to score Dylan Moore. That makes it 2-0. Fourth inning, J.P. Crawford singles to right to score Dylan Moore. 3-0 in the fourth. Big Dumper is responsible for the next two runs, homering from the left side and the right side in the fifth and seventh. It is 5-0. Reds get back into it in the seventh inning. Christian Encarnacion Strand doubles to left to score Spencer Steer and Gavin Lux. And then I always want to call him Lou Trevino. Sometimes I want to call him Lee Trevino. Jose Trevino singles to right to score Encarnacion Strand. 5-3. Mariners win. A road win. Apparently you're allowed to do that. Not a ton of ugly. The most obvious ugly is Troy Taylor did not have it in his first appearance in a long time. First appearance in 2025. Just didn't go very well. It didn't go very well as an understatement. And the reason for concern outside of, not pitching well, you give up 3 runs and you don't give an out, is the Mariners are going to need Troy Taylor to pitch well. For those who missed it, Gregory Santos was optioned to AAA Tacoma today. Yikes. Can't say that they had that one planned in the books, but he's been awful. You and I, assuming that none of the Seattle Mariner pitchers are watching this, and if you are, please be my friend. You and I have as many strikeouts as Gregory Santos does this year. He had a 0-8 strikeout to walk ratio. Good for a hitter, depending on how deep in the year it is, but always 0 strikeouts is good. It's not ideal for a pitcher. They got to work on some stuff because he looked lost and just couldn't find the strike zone. And he was never a big swing and miss guy, but long story short, Troy Taylor is important for this bullpen. As good as Vargas and Spire have been, and we'll talk about them in a second, they need that guy. And I'm not saying Troy Taylor is going to be that guy. I think Matt Brash, when he comes back, is going to be that guy. But Troy Taylor needs to be a significant part of this bullpen. And he didn't look good today. I think he'll be fine. But it's a daily show, and you have to acknowledge the ugly. Offensively, Rayleigh had a tough one, but we'll talk about a big game from him. Rowdy Tellez has got to go. It's just not working out. And I'm sorry. You can tell me, we've played exactly 1/9 of the season. No, we haven't. 18 times 9. Yes, we have. It's been exactly 1/9 of the season. All right. He doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. He's been too mediocre of a hitter the last few years. As good as he was last summer, his start and end of last year, and considering, he's actually done a decent job with the glove. And it's not like they have a ton of better options, but they need to go find those better options. Rowdy Tellez isn't good enough. Rowdy Tellez needs to go. Thank you for your service. It's time for a different first baseman for the Seattle Mariners. Should probably be Luke Raley, who, again, struggled at the plate, but made a big, big play. Julio goes 0 for 4. I'm going to guarantee you that it's not 0 for 4 for all that much longer. For those who missed it, they charged Ellie De La Cruz with that first. He gets on base. He hit it 109 miles per hour, but they still called it an error. Now, was it a right at? It was an atom ball? Sure. 109 miles per hour is pretty tough to field. I'm shocked that a home scorekeeper gave an error on that. Yikes. But I will almost guarantee, I'm taking my my pledge down already, 10 seconds later, I will be shocked if Julio Rodriguez isn't credited with a hit, and he drew a walk, but 0 for 4. Gets on twice, one of them by air, but if you're the Seattle Mariners, I think you have to. And he also peed on a baseball. Sorry, Pioneer Elementary. Hit a ball very hard to center field. I'm not kidding. That's a fine 0 for 4 from Julio Rodriguez, and great to see him draw a walk, score a run. The only other ugly thing I want to mention here is, and I'm sorry to bring up this booth again. They spent like 5 minutes talking about the genius of having Jorge Polanco face a lefty while swinging left-handed and how it was so smart to have him. Do they not realize who's in the Cincinnati bullpen? That wasn't the only lefty. It made no sense for Jorge Polanco to hit in that situation. Zero. You sacrificed an out. Maybe you did it because you wanted to see how he would do against lefty on lefty, and now you know it can't be done. It's really hard, especially when you haven't done it. Jorge Polanco has been a switch hitter since he was 12 years old. That was almost assuredly the first time he has looked at a left-handed batter with his eye like that. And it's hard for people who do it every day. Ask Luke Raley what it's like to hit lefty on lefty. It was a horrible decision. They went on and on about it like it was genius. No, it was dumb as heck. Absolutely the wrong decision. Dan Wilson has made some decisions that have made, I had a full headache. No, I did not. I didn't like it. But what I really like is Simply Seattle, the very best in Seattle sports gear. Great stuff for the Mariners, of course, but the Seahawks, the Kraken, the Storm, the Sounders, you can find it all at simplyseattle.com. Use code MOLLYWOP15 to save 15% off your order. If you don't have this hoodie yet, the Kingdom one, what are you doing? It's a great price. To be able to save 15% off it, it just becomes an even better price. That's how math works. They have a ton of great original stuff. Please check them out. MOLLYWHOP15. Link in the description. Thank you so much, Simply Seattle. And thank you to you for supporting Simply Seattle. All right, the positives. You get a win on the road. It's crazy to get your first one. And look, of course, a lot of this is based on the fact that they've only played 5. But it's crazy to get your first road win this late in the year. Game 18. You're on pace to win 9 road games now. That's not how that actually works, but yeah, it's just nice to win a road game. It's nice to win a road game. So I meant to kind of mention this in the bad portion, but I'm not going to. Well, obviously, because that's over. So Bryce Miller was phenomenal. I think that's the best we've seen Bryce Miller all year, stuff-wise. The fact that they pulled him after 78 pitches is concerning. It's not concerning in a Wilson point. It's concerning in a, they really are worried about how he's rebounding from starts right now. Because to say he deserved another inning, maybe even 2, understatement. He was phenomenal, though. He issues a couple of walks, but the swing and miss stuff was so good. That first inning was Bryce Miller at his absolute best. I was really impressed with what I saw. His last few starts have been phenomenal. Bryce Miller's a really good pitcher. But it is concerning, to do the opposite of put icing on the cake, to eat the cake and leave. I don't know. It is concerning that he only threw 78 pitches. Here's hoping he's okay, because can they not afford to lose Bryce Miller? Bullpen sans Troy Taylor was very good. Thornton, used in the right situation, pitched well. Carlos Vargas, he gives up a couple of hits. He does give up one of the runs from Taylor. He gave up a little bit of hard contact, but I think he did a nice job settling down afterwards. However, again, another negative in the positive section. I don't know about that interference call, fellas and ladies and whoever you want to be. I do not know about that one. That was, if that's interference, there's a lot of interference in baseball. A lot of it. And I can't help but wonder if Raleigh had talked to the umpire before about maybe, hey, this guy leans when De La Cruz is trying to steal second, blah, blah, blah. Because it was a massive out. Massive out. Gabe Spire was very good, and Andres Munoz was solid. Fell behind. Well, didn't fall behind. Wasn't able to put away a hitter. And credit to Rowdy Tellez. He made a nice play at first base. And then just some weak contact, and away we go. Still hasn't given up a run. 7 saves. Puts him on pace for 63. Once I know that it's the 9th, it's easy to do stuff like that. Very solid job. Very solid job from the bullpen. Gave up those 3 runs, sure. But I'm not going to be too worried about that. Offensively, we talked about Julio with some hard contact. Polanco drives in the run, hits a double. Or he didn't drive in a run, but he did hit a double. That's cool. Reading a box score, doing a great job. Arozarena, couple of hits, an RBI, draws a couple of walks. But really impressed with Arozarena at the plate this year. Like the line, if you take a look at the batting average for him and Julio, they don't tell the story. Batting average is a flawed stat to begin with. Very flawed stat. But his approach and the hard contact he's made, I've been extremely encouraged by what I've seen from him. Another solid game from Dylan Moore. You know, he's seeing it well. And again, we talked about it yesterday. You can't help but wonder how much better he'd be at a place like this. Right? You just can't help it. Ben Williamson gets his first RBI. Did they give him an oh boy, sorry about that, guys. I hit my computer. Did they give him an error on that play? No. And that's another example of why the error for De La Cruz is just insane. You know, it's a ball he should field, but you can just see in his actions just how good of a fielder this dude is going to be. And he's looked comfortable at the plate. And a nice game from JP Crawford. A couple of knocks. Average is getting up into a respectable thing. There's no power whatsoever, but if he's hitting 9th, I'm okay with that. Turn the lineup over. Been very encouraged with what I've seen from JP Crawford over the last few weeks. And then, of course, God, we're so blessed to have Big Dumper. So blessed. I was talking to this in my group chat. I write about prospects for a living. Not as much as I used to, but it's still a large portion of what I do. And I've gotten a lot of things wrong, as every baseball prospect person has, as every scout has, as every GM has, blah, blah, blah. But I've gotten a lot of things wrong. One of the proudest things for me in terms of getting a player right, and look, I did not think he was going to be this good. But you ask people who I talked to in 2021 when Raleigh was at Florida State. I thought he was the most underrated draft prospect. Did I see him being a 30-homer guy? Did I see him being maybe the best defensive player in all of baseball? No. But I knew he was good. And I'm proud that I got that right. And I'm super thankful that I get to watch Big Dumper play baseball. Every day. Every day. He is just such an awesome player. Such an unbelievably awesome player. I think Cal Raleigh might win an MVP someday. Especially as we move more towards appreciating what he does more so. And we're starting to dismiss, for lack of a better term, the things he struggles with. I think he could win an MVP someday. I think Julio can win an MVP someday. I think Ben Williamson can. No, I'm just kidding. But I think both those guys can win MVPs. I think every starter the Mariners have can win a Cy Young. That's cool. Pretty cool. And I mentioned with Raleigh. Huge throw to the plate. Now, struggled to get the plate again, but that was a massive play to cut down that runner. Excellent throw. Questionable send with Jose Trevino not being the fleetest of foot, but a great throw. So you get the win. You're 9-9. You get a chance to win the series. And I don't remember who's pitching for either team. That's right. It is Brian Wu against Brady Singer. Interesting little pitching matchup. I would go advantage M's, But Singer's got some swing and miss stuff, and the Mariners occasionally will swing and miss here and there. Good win. Great to finally get a road win. But getting a series win in this first road trip, or first series of the road trip, excuse me, that would be super duper. It'd also be super duper if you hit like and subscribed. Really appreciate the support. I'd really love to get to 2,000 by the end of the month. Now, I got to get to 1,900 first. That's how math works. But I'd really love to get to that mark. And we're, I believe, 107 away. It's not crazy. So tell your friends and sign up for YouTube accounts. Sorry, YouTube. Oh, what do you care if you're watching ads? Why would they even like, subscribe, all that good stuff? Tomorrow's video will definitely be later than the game. I'll probably need to watch a replay because I'll be working during it. Good win. Really good win. And thank you, Big Dumper.